everybody, it's your boy Emmit, back again with another video. And by the way, folks, just a heads up, this is part one of 2 videos that I'm pumping out. That's right, folks. There was so much on the daily rap video that I had to break it up into 2 parts. So the first one, of course, we're going to focus on Beg-Maggedon. Yup, that's right, folks. Beg-Maggedon happened yesterday, where our boy Phil couldn't help himself and was compelled to beg for money. That's right, it happened yesterday. We were waiting on it. We knew it was bound to happen sooner or later, and it came sooner rather than later. That's right, folks. And our boy Phil is just super fucking pathetic. Straight up, that's all I can say, is he is a just pathetic human. And we'll get into it. So let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, the 7th of November, 2023. A fun streaming day, a day full of progress, a day full of fun and support. I'm happy for how today went, honestly. Allow me to get you caught up on what's been going on. So, if you saw last night's Daily Wrap, you know how I was concerned. You know how things have been going recently, where I kind of felt like I'm behind the 8 ball with everything going on right now. With the sickness that's affected me, with a series of slower, less engaging streams. And I talked a lot about that on today's podcast. In fact, really the way I opened the podcast was, all the time people ask you in life, hey, how you doing? Right? And what's the answer you usually give? Your answer is usually, hey, I'm alright, or I'm doing good. So yeah, you know, but it's usually not true, because the person asking you the question really doesn't want an answer. They don't really want to hear how you're doing. What if you're not doing well? What if stuff's going on? Do you think they want to stand there and hear you complain? So it's kind of a weird question. It's just a platonic question. It doesn't really mean what it sounds like, right? And a lot of times it's just people trying to get an acknowledgement of you, out of you, rather than a real answer. They don't actually care how you're doing, right?
No, you idiot. Yet again, this... Your parents did a disservice to you, Phil. Your parents, they were neglectful, and they did a disservice for you. And you're also a scumbag on top of it. It's just a polite thing to ask. It's something that you would do when you see anyone. It's just a polite way to start a conversation. It's not meant to be deep. It isn't. But of course, you use the opportunity to fucking beg. That's all you use it for. You don't care what people think. You don't care that other people worry about you. All you care about is just money. That's all you fucking care about. And for you to fucking throw out this pathetic line and this pathetic statement and actually try to couch your podcast and your beg with it was utterly trash, Phil. It is. It is. When people ask you how you're doing, unless it's someone very close to you, you're supposed to give a generic answer and say, oh, things are good, or things are okay. It's just polite conversation, Phil. It's not meant as an avenue for you to put your hands in their pocket. It's not. But of course, trash Phil takes the opportunity to do it. He does. It's just fucking pathetic. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off that he's such a manipulative tool bag. He just is. He just fucking is. And it's quite fucking sad. It just is. Let's keep going.
Today I told everyone how I was doing on the podcast. I revealed that not only are these residual symptoms that I have of this illness really still bother me a lot. You know, we're a week and a half into having this thing, and I still got nasal drippage, constant nose running, constantly have to blow the nose, clear the throat. It's tiring. It's, you know, this is a very annoying, lingering, cold that is not fully going away, and it sucks because I can't really do anything else to make myself recover faster besides just staying the course of what I'm doing and not overexerting myself, right? But in addition, you know, there's a lot of other stuff going on, and I actually revealed that not only did I have a series of, you know, some much slower days this week, which sucks because obviously I'm trying to come back from an illness when I already missed out on 3 full days of streaming and a marathon that would have propelled me back to a lot more support than I really have right now. But then in addition to that, other stuff happened. I just got a bunch of chargebacks against my PayPal account and all of that. So basically, if you want the full skinny on what's been going on with me lately, including both public and stuff behind the scenes, I talk all about it on today's podcast, all right? We also covered some news stories and things like that. There actually was no time to go through the suggestion box today due to the topics that I talked about, which is fine. We don't have to do it every day. We can always go back to the suggestion box when we have a slower podcast day, which very well could be tomorrow, okay? So, we then jumped into Alan Wake 2, and for 3.5 hours, so I actually played a little bit extra gameplay today. We played with Saga, and this time around we were in the Valhalla resting home for the elderly, or the wellness center. and it was a whole other dungeon area, lots of exploration, lots of new plot elements, big plot reveals, a big boss fight at the end, a hilarious glitch that happened during the boss fight that I'm going to see if possibly we can make a funny short out of. And anyway, it was pretty good. It went pretty well, and there was a lot of support on the first stream today. I can tell you this, basically enough support that it kind of negated the annoying chargebacks that I'd gotten the night before. So it was nice. At the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I finished the stream and it was kind of like, okay, so I'm starting at 0 even now, but it's better to start at 0 than to be behind all day, which is what it was. I mean, imagine that, waking up and being told, oh yeah, your pay is being taken back. It's exactly what happens when you get chargebacks on a PayPal account. So anyway, it was a great.
Okay, yet again, one more thing that just pisses me off about Phil. Are you that stupid, Phil? No, you're really not. You're just again lying to your dents. You made $160 on your Alan Wake playthrough. You made $160. Even if the chargebacks are true, which I don't believe, even if they are true that $100 was deducted, you still made $60 fucking dollars, you fucking idiot. You didn't end you didn't end with nothing. And you're trying to fucking say it is just pissing me the fuck off. 160 minus 100 for the chargebacks means you netted $60, Phil. Doesn't mean you netted 0. It doesn't mean you start off at 0, Phil. Do you not know basic math? And this moron, it was supposed to be the valedictorian of his high school and actually got a college degree. Just goes to show that it means literally nothing if someone has a college degree, because an idiot like this can actually get a degree. Mind you, he acts like he's a successful businessman, but yet 2 or 3 days of slow streams ruins his business. That's right, folks. Ruins the business. Businessman Phil here can't handle the fact that he had 2 or 3 days of slow support. And mind you, another thing that annoys me is that he's fucking lying. He's made over $900 this week in tips, which is about average what he actually makes weekly. Actually, it's a little bit more than what he makes weekly. So this bullshit that he's making less or it hasn't been making enough money is just bullshit. It is. It's utter fucking bullshit because the numbers are there. You actually made a little bit more in tips than you regularly make, Phil. You do. And you've actually made a little bit more to kind of cover the fact that you lost 3 days of streaming last week. So yet again, this asshole is just lying. He's just lying yet again, Phil. And you know what? I wouldn't be so annoyed if you were just being honest. But the problem, Phil, is you refuse to be honest. You use these fucking buzzwords. You try to fucking manipulate people. And that's why the world hates you, Phil.
Great day. And by the way, people were more engaged. They were talking more about Alan Wake. We were discussing the plot and stuff. It was much better than some of the more recent streams where people were definitely more disengaged and not as interested. I think people actually tuned in for Alan Wake today, which was a good thing. So it went really well, in my opinion. You know, great progress. And it puts us in position to possibly finish the game, which I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes here, okay? The late stream tonight was Spider-Man 2 continuing on, and it was a good mix of story, side content, and more. Side content-wise, we finished all of the Hunter blinds and the final Hunter mission. So the Craven the Hunter stuff, optional stuff is done. And then opened up a new one. I'm serious. We finished it and it says, oh, so now there's these birds in the city. And you have to use your flight ability, your gliding ability, this is new to this game, to follow these around. And there's like 8 or 9 of them. And you have to do it for like 5 minutes each. And by doing it, you build up a signal. After the signal, I guess there's a target. And now you can save the target. Now the birds won't go after those targets. It's definitely fluff. Like, it really has nothing to do with the story. It's fluff stuff. It's put in there to lengthen the gameplay of the game. We did like 2 of those. And I did find the final Mysterio challenge, which apparently was hidden. So we found it, did it, and then it was the big finale mission, and we finished the Mysterio plot line for Miles. So that was cool. Then we went back to the plot, and I want to say we did 2 or 3 major story missions. I actually stayed about a half an hour late to go a little late and actually finish up a major mission against the Lizard. All right? Big plot elements, big twists in the plot, interesting stuff. Overall, a great stream. And again, people showed up, they were engaged, and they were very supportive. So by the end of the day, I actually had a pretty big supportive day, which I really appreciated, because after having so many slower days, and then those chargebacks on top of it, it was greatly appreciated to get me back on track. Okay, so thank you all for that. I hope you enjoy all the gameplay that I put out today. Tomorrow is my final consecutive streaming day of the week before I have my Thursday off. After today's streams, here's what I've come to the determination. Tomorrow will be all about Alan Wake 2. And what I mean by that is I'm going to play both streams, and I'm going to make an honest push to see if we can beat it. Now, here's the thing. I'm almost positive we're at the end of the segments, the individual segments of both Alan and Saga, and we're at a point where they're coming to an intersection, which leads you to the final act and the final end of the game. So, what's left is we just finished the segment with Saga, and now we have the ability to deal with bolt cutters, and you can go back to the rest of the game and all the areas of the game you were not able to go to previously because you didn't have the bolt cutters, and you can now open up all those areas and complete all optional hidden tasks like the cult stashes, the nursery rhyme puzzles, and all of that. So I think at this point, because we have the bolt cutters, we can literally go anywhere in the game now that we want and solve everything. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We are going to go back to the wellness center and try to find apparently this hunting rifle that I missed. So we're going to look for that first. Then we're going to go to areas where the bolt cutters will open stuff. We will be doing a lot of that backtracking style gameplay tomorrow to start. Then once we've done all that, which could take a couple of hours, we're going to go into the story. And we're going to see, pushing the story along, how far we get. Then on the late stream, yes, it'll be more Alan Wake 2 as I try to basically get into the end game. Now, I don't know if in 5 hours we can beat it. We're 23 hours in. I don't know if 28 hours is how long this game is, but we'll see. And if I don't beat it, we're absolutely beating it sooner rather than later this coming weekend, because once it's done, we can focus on other new things and finishing up the other games. There's too many games going right now. I already have 3 juggled, and I absolutely need to be making more progress. So that's why we're focusing on Alan Wake 2 tomorrow. If you don't like Alan Wake 2, my apologies. I think this is the best strategy to try to get as far as I can and or finish it, because once it's done, we can move on to other things and focus on the other things, because right now, even with the alternation of the 3 games, it's too much, and we're not playing enough of each game, and now we got new games coming Friday. So we have to do something. We have to take some kind of a drastic measure here, and this is what I think we need to do, okay? So let's see how it goes tomorrow. I certainly hope you'll join me tomorrow and see what the end game is like, and hopefully we'll chill and we'll enjoy these final puzzles and everything together and have a good time and see how it all ends, all right?
So, translation, Alan Wake is the only playthrough really bringing in money. So since I need money for WWE Champions and my day off, and make sure Cat's not aware that I'm gambling all my money away, I'm going to milk Alan Wake for 2 streams. That's essentially what's going to happen. And the problem, of course, like always, is whenever the Dents wail out, supports will be slow the next day. So I'm pretty sure today's streams will be abysmal with the tips. And we'll hear Phil again bitch and complain and actually mention the fact that yesterday he did beg, and the beg, you know, the beg sympathy only lasted 1 day. So prepare for that today, which should be fucking hilarious yet again. I'm sure he'll bring it up and recap the BegMaggedon again today on his fucking podcast, because that's just how Phil does. Phil will you know, anything he can use to make a buck, he'll use it. He'll beat it to fucking death and use it, just like the sickness, just like it's cat sickness, just like the fact he has to spend $50 on cat treats for Jasper and he doesn't have any money. Yes, that is Phil Burnell. That's right, folks.
I'm not here on Thursday. When I come back on Friday, it will be the premiere of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on the first stream. 3 hours of multiplayer. We'll be doing the initial loadouts, unlocks, building our custom, you know, the custom loadout with weapons and the like. I'll take your advice on what weapons are good starter weapons to play. I can't wait to see all the maps unlocked. You know, we only played on a small handful of the Modern Warfare 2 original maps that are now in Modern Warfare 3 Modern. And I can't wait to see more. And I think it's going to be a great time, all right? Friday night is up in the air because it depends on what happens with Alan Wake. If we beat Alan Wake, then obviously Friday night will maybe be like Spider-Man and Mario. But if we don't beat Alan Wake, we might do it again Friday night to try to finish it, okay? Then, once Alan Wake 2 finishes, we can start Like a Dragon Gaiden. That'll be the next playthrough that I begin. But of course, we'll continue on with Spider-Man and Mario to finish those up as well. That's the goal for next week. Finish Alan Wake, start Like a Dragon Gaiden, get Call of Duty into the rotation, and continue on with Spider-Man and Mario until they're done. That's essentially my goal for next week.
Okay, Phil, and don't forget the other goal is to beg and make sure you recoup all the money that you lost when you were sick. Don't forget that, Phil, because that's very critical. We all know that is the main goal always, is to make sure that you line your pockets with other people's fucking money. God, you are fucking pathetic, and I love it. I love watching you. I love this existence that you have, Phil, where you rely and you sweat it out every fucking day, and you probably sit in your room every waking moment thinking about money and thinking about, man, I need that money and what can I do to get more of it. It is a sad, pathetic existence, Phil. But you know what? It fits you because you are sad and pathetic. You fucking are. And I can't wait for the fucking day where it all dries up and you have a mental fucking breakdown because you are a greedy, selfish asshole. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.